We start with something helpful for you because it has been helpful for me. So support for the Don Lemon Show today comes from ZBiotics. Let me tell you about this stuff. It has saved me after more than a few late nights. ZBiotics is the world's first genetically engineered probiotic. It is designed to tackle rough mornings after drinking. Now, here's how this stuff works. When you drink, your body produces a toxic byproduct in your gut, and that's what makes you feel awful the next day. It's not dehydration. ZBiotics creates an enzyme that breaks that down before it builds up. Now, I first tried it before a dinner party. I told you to drink first glass of wine, maybe some tequila, whatever. The next morning, I was up early, sharp, ready to go, ready to do the show. And now with football season here, I don't tailgate without it. Whether you're celebrating a big win or just catching the game at home, make ZBiotics your first drink of the night. So head over to zbiotics.com/lemon and use the code LEMON for 15% off of your first order. And they've got a 100% money back guarantee, so there's zero risk. That's zbiotics.com/lemon. Let's go. Let's go, everybody. Welcome to Lemon Live at 5. Thank you so much for joining us this evening as I'm dropping things on the floor here. Welcome to the show. What on earth is going on? And I don't know if you guys, this is kind of breaking. I'm not sure if you guys have seen this yet. We're going to show you what is literally happening at the White House in just moments. Can we just give them one screenshot? Just give them like a picture of what's going on, because we're going to take you there live. We'll just show them a picture of what's up at this White House, Andy. It is, I quite frankly don't know what to say. This is the White House. It literally looks like a bomb went off. I mean, it looks like a war zone. Look at this. And they promised people that the building this big busted ballroom would not touch or affect the original structure. I mean, literally, these people don't care about anything. So let's go through this. I'm going to do a live shot. We're going to take you there live. We have our correspondent there live on the scene. We also have some other pictures and video that we're going to discuss with you. But I mean, this is some weird shit, man. They just don't care. And they're going to build some nasty, tacky gold thing. And I don't know. I have no idea what it's going to look like, except for, well, we know what it's going to look like. It's going to be something that is, tacky, right? Like everything that they've done. It's going to be some gross gold plated something or other. And then we're going to have to live with it because no one really cares. This administration doesn't care. Like they say that they care about let's talk about the Constitution, and we care about all these things. And, we care about due process, and we want small, limited government. And we're not going to destroy the White House. We believe in, art and all that shit. When all you have to do is just look at a literal, because we showed you this morning, it's a literal you-know-what show that is happening right now. That's literally what it is. A you-know-what show that is happening in this country. And I, quite frankly, don't really know what to say about it. I just put it back up, Andy. I just think that you should see this. Not going to touch the original integrity of the White House. Don't even worry about it. It's not a big deal. That's what they say. Do you believe them now? Are you okay with all of this? You're fine with this? I just want that to settle in a little bit. Wow. Say it, Don. I know. They should fucking I will. I'm trying to hold back. It's really disgusting. So what I want to say to you guys is good evening. Let me fix my camera here. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us, my friends, on the Don Lemon Show. So look, I want to start with what's happening right now, because this is not a metaphor. This is not really a headline. It's an actual sound echoing through Washington tonight, and that is steel bending. It is concrete cracking. Bulldozers are ripping through the walls of the White House. Donald Trump is tearing down part of the East Wing right now, the People's House. Now, you're supposed to, if you want to change anything, if you want to move a painting, if you want to do anything, you're supposed to get permission from the people. But this is our house. This is your house. This is my house. This is a symbol of democracy itself, the White House. It's being smashed apart to make room for a ballroom. Now, do you think that this is probably the most famous house in America? I mean, you know, back in the day, the most famous house probably was like the Beverly Hillbillies, maybe, or maybe the Brady Bunch house. But I mean, this is the most famous house in the world, I believe, is the White House. And right now, the White House is crumbling because they want to make room for this ballroom. A ballroom, a fucking ballroom. I want you to think about that for a second. I want you to let that settle in. While Americans are working 2 jobs to pay for groceries, while families are drowning under medical bills, children are going hungry in the wealthiest nation. People are concerned about health care. And here we are in this moment. And they are worried about a freaking ballroom. I mean, how much more are we going to allow this to happen? We saw the no protest, the No Kings protest and all of that this weekend, but how much longer do you think Americans are going to stand for this? And they wonder why people are so mad. They wonder why, there were 7 million people or more that were out in droves this past weekend. They wonder about that. I don't know why they're wondering, because they should know now. The wealthiest nation on earth, and the president is knocking down the White House to throw himself a party, is what he's doing. Using our tax dollars. That's, I don't know. I mean, it's not leadership. I mean, it's a monarchy. It's like a cosplay of monarchy is really what it is. That's what dictators do. That's a big dictator move right there. It's a dream come true for him with all of this. But here's the thing, as we're going through this, and I usually am at a loss for words. This isn't just construction. It's a confession, really. This is the truest, rawest expression of what this man believes, which he doesn't really believe in anything. That everything, even the White House itself, exists to really serve him. Not the people, not the country, just him, Donald Trump. And that is exactly what is happening to this nation. It's not just the walls of the East Wing that are being demolished. I mean, you can say it's the walls that really hold up our democracy that's being demolished because they don't answer to anyone, right? It's the walls that protect the truth. It's the walls that separate power from tyranny. I mean, look around. You have, as I am speaking now, I'm sure there are some folks that are probably coming home or whatever, but I mean, you have ICE agents out terrorizing people, terrorizing neighborhoods. They're dragging people out of homes, out of businesses, out of the school lines, sometimes even citizens, because they look like they're undocumented or they just don't care because they want to show their power. One of those agents was just arrested for drunk driving with his kids in the backseat, cursing out the cops who had the gall to stop him because he was driving erratically and then they smelled alcohol. These are the same people who demand law and order. I think the rules just don't apply to them. And so Trump thinks the rules don't apply to him as it relates to the White House. National Guard troops are patrolling American streets, not for foreign enemies, but really to intimidate protesters. They're trying to send a message to everyone. Dissent will be punished. Rules for thee, but not for me. The president in this moment is weaponizing the justice system against anyone who dares to challenge him. John Bolton, you got Letitia James, James Comey. He really turns the power of the state into a personal vendetta. That's what he does. And through all of this, like everything is a grievance. I mean, you can see that's why people say, well, why are some people so angry? Why are white guys so angry right now, right? Why are they committing most of the political violence? It's because they're taking maybe a page from their leader. Through it all, the economy is crumbling right now. Inflation is back. Jobs are disappearing. Families are struggling just to stay afloat. And yet, instead of helping them, he is busy measuring the drapes for his new ballroom. And you remember when asked about how are you dealing? Your friend Charlie Kirk died. Oh, look at our beautiful ballroom. And as if that wasn't enough, last week we learned what the next generation of Trump's party is cooking up. Oh, but there's there's more. Politico uncovered a group that a group of Republicans in a group chat, rising Republican stars, the so-called future of the Republican Party. These chats were filled with racist slurs, Holocaust jokes. You know what? Yahtzee memes. These aren't not teenagers in a basement. These are paid political operatives. They're grown adults. People working on campaigns inside the government, and on and on and on. And so, and what happened? What happened when it came out? Were they fired? Were they condemned? They weren't fired, nor were they condemned. I think they could even get a promotion because Trump's GOP and his GOP hate isn't a scandal. It's a resume builder. This is who they are. And this is who they've always been. They don't want to just tear down a wing in the White House. They want to tear down your place in it. They want to tear down the country. They want to rebuild the country, rebuild America into something that is smaller, meaner, whiter, and crueler. Where's the lie? A place where power never has to answer to the people again. There is those. They can't bulldoze the truth, even though we're wondering what the truth is right now. The truth is, I don't know. The truth is, while they build a ballroom, the people are building something too. We saw that this weekend. When I said America is done with the bullshit. Millions marched this weekend. They marched for peace. They marched abroad, for peace abroad and justice here, right here in America, at home. You know, they marched really to say that enough is enough here. Cruelty, enough lies, enough cruelty, enough corruption. And they marched to remind this administration of something that it desperately wants to forget. And that is power in America does not belong to one man. They don't want you to know that. It belongs to all of us. That's where the power really belongs. So I say, you know, let them build their palace. Let them eat cake. That's what they're saying. Let them waltz under the chandeliers while the foundations crack beneath them, right? Because they're going to be dancing and partying. And it is really a let them eat cake moment, right? Because they're worried about like ballrooms and partying and all that stuff. And the rest of the people are hurting. It really is a Marie Antoinette moment. Let them eat cake. So let them waltz under the chandeliers and whatever it is that they do while the foundations crack beneath them, because history is not going to remember the size of Trump's ballroom, even the size of his tiny hands. It's going to remember the size of the movement that rose up to stop him. And trust me, it is building. And don't For 1 minute, seriously, don't dare underestimate this movement, because the same people that they're trying to silence, the same people that they're trying to deport right now, the same people that they're trying to disenfranchise and erase, those people are the heartbeat of this country. And that heartbeat is really getting louder and louder and louder. People are fed up with this government. They're upset. And rightfully so. Are you upset? I know that people are upset with what's going on, because they tell me every single day that they're upset with what's going on. Those people are getting louder and louder and louder. So you can tear down a building, you can tear down a law, you can even try to tear down the truth, but you cannot tear down you can't tear down what people are feeling. You can't tear down people once they decide that they have had enough, once they decide that they are done. So, it's gross, but let them swing the sledgehammers and the backhoes and all that. Let them pour their concrete. Let them decorate their palace with gold leaf and mirrors. Let them get rid of the rose garden for an Olive Garden patio. Because in the end, I mean, what it really won't matter. You can rebuild buildings. You can tear down that ballroom. Because the people are still going to be here. We will still be here, and we're going to rebuild every wall that they destroy stronger than before. I know that I'm committed to it with every breath, because this house, this country doesn't belong to Donald Trump. It doesn't belong to the racists on their group chats. It doesn't belong to the billionaires or the bootlickers or the bullies. It belongs to us, the people of the United States. The people who built it, especially the slaves who built it for free. The people who bled for it. The people who refuse to surrender it. And so just remember, this is public housing. They live there at the pleasure of the American people. So when the dust settles and the last chandelier goes dark and the last lie collapses under its own weight, I think we will still be standing. I know we will still be standing. So tonight, as the bulldozers are roaring, we're going to check to make sure, see if they're roaring now. So rubble piles up, South Lawn, on the South Lawn. You don't see it just a construction site. See it for what it is. It's a desperate, crumbling system trying to build walls around its own fear. That's what's happening. But walls don't last. Empires don't last. Ballrooms don't last. But people, the people do. And we are just getting started. My chief Washington correspondent, Jolly, is standing by in Washington, D.C. For us. Jolly is going to join us in a minute. But first, I'm going to get a word in from our sponsors. Give me 2 minutes. Support for the show comes from Ali. This one is for all the dog parents out there, and you know that I'm one of those dog parents. Boomer Barkley and Gus Gus are part of my family, so I want the absolute best for them. That's why I switched to this. That's why I switched to Ali. They deliver fresh human-grade meals packed with protein and nutrients, made with real ingredients that you'd recognize from your own kitchen. They love this stuff. I noticed a difference almost immediately. Shiner coats, more energy, and even my pickiest eater finishes his bowl. And Ali makes it easy. Just take their 30-second quiz, and they build a meal plan tailored to your dog's exact needs. Plus, the Ali app connects you to real experts for on-demand health screenings. So head over to ollie.com/lemon and tell them about your pup and use the code LEMON to get 60% off of your first box. And if you're not totally satisfied, they offer a happiness guarantee. Okay? So that is OLLIE.com/lemon. Your pups will thank you for this. Support for the Don Lemon Show comes from Beam. So let's be real. The news cycle doesn't stop and burnout is real, but here is the thing. Rest is resistance. One of the best ways to keep fighting, thinking, and showing up is by getting real restorative sleep. That's why I use this. It's Beam's Dream Powder. It is a natural sleep blend that helps you fall asleep, stay asleep, and wake up clear-headed. No grogginess, no fog. It is packed with science-backed ingredients like reishi, magnesium L-theanine, and apigenin, and melatonin, and it actually tastes good. I love the cinnamon cocoa flavor. I love this one. It is delicious, okay? Because this has become a part of my nightly routine now. And since I started using it, my mornings are sharper, more focused, more me. Beam has already improved over 17.5 million nights of sleep. And now it is your turn. Go to shopbeam.com/lemon. Use the code LEMON for up to 40% off. That's shopbeam.com/lemon. Okay, so thank you for joining us. I was just speaking to our correspondent Jolly, who is on the move there. But anyway, I just want to show you what Jolly sent us. So let's show some of the video. Jolly was there just moments ago, and this is what he got. Is he talking through this?
It's absolutely insane. All for a fucking egotistical, narcissistic fucking ballroom. Literally, look at this. Oh my God. That is the White House being actively destroyed by Donald Trump. Look at this. Unfucking believable.
It is unbelievable. Also, there's other. Does Jolly have another video? Is this the only one?
Just this one.
Just this one. Okay. So, and then there's also video from other news sources. Look, we have one of the pictures that we showed. What's the other? Do we have another photograph of it, or is it the same photograph that we had earlier?
Just one photo, then we have one more video.
All right. And then let's look at the other video here. Crazy. The White House begins demolition of the East Wing to build a ballroom. And so I'm not sure what they're spraying. I guess they're spraying to keep anything from catching fire. Oh my God. That is American history. Now, what's going to happen when they have to tear this down? When they have to tear this down. And there's a live picture of the White House right now, but you don't see that. For what? A damn ballroom. It is unbelievable. It is terrible. Anyways, there is another scandal that's happening in Washington, D.C., and that is Politico has found yet another Nazi group chat signal. We're going to get back to our White House story in just a moment. But there's another scandal. Put it up. This one is coming from Politico. A Nazi group chat scandal. These are some of the things that were on there, okay? MLK Jr. was 1960s. Can you back that up for me, Andy? I'm sorry. MLK Jr., oh, there it is, was a 1960s George Floyd. His holiday should be ended and tossed into the seventh circle of hell where it belongs. Now that joins the chat from last week with the watermelon people and monkeys and the I love Hitler people from these Republican up-and-comers. Trump's nominee, this is a nominee saying that he has a Nazi streak. He bashes MLK Day Jr., that is according to texts. This is a quote from him. I do have a Yahtzee streak in me from time to time. I will admit it. Paul Ingracia to a group of Republicans, according to texts viewed by Politico. I do have a Yahtzee streak in me from time to time. I will admit it. Ingracia responded, according to the chain. One of the people in the text group said in an interview that Ingracia, his comment was not taken as a joke, and 3 participants pushed back against Ingracia during the text exchange that day. So another scandal from an administration that is hell-bent on telling people that, oh, we don't have bigots, that these people were just kids. And now you have Trump's nominee, Paul Ingracia, saying the quiet part out loud. I don't even know if it's so quiet anymore. Is it really quiet anymore? Is it quiet, or is it they just don't care? Because if he's saying it, people are pushing back. Clearly, he doesn't care. And you saw this morning, I showed you the streamer, the podcaster, who said that slavery wasn't bad, that slavery is a good thing, that Christians should be able to say that. But they like to pretend that they're not racist, and they're being told and they believe now that those things are not racist. This is JD Vance defending what he calls kids who make jokes. Let's see if he defends this person who says they have a Nazi streak. Here it is.
By focusing on what kids are saying in a group chat, grow up. I'm sorry. Focus on the real issues. Don't focus on what kids say in group chats. But there's another angle to this that I just have to be honest about. I mean, I'm like an old guy at this point. I'm 41 years old. I have 3 kids. You know, I grew up in a different world, right? Where not most of the stupid things that I did when I was a teenager and a young adult, they're not on the internet. Like, I'm going to tell my kids, especially my boys, don't put things on the internet. Like, be careful with what you post. If you put something in a group chat, assume that some scumbag is going to leak it in an effort to try to cause you harm or cause your family harm. But the reality is that kids do stupid things, especially young boys. They tell edgy, offensive jokes. Like, that's what kids do. And I really don't want us to grow up in a country where a kid telling a stupid joke, telling a very offensive stupid joke, is cause to ruin their lives. And at some point, we're all going to have to say, enough of this BS. We're not going to allow the worst moment in a 21-year-old's group chat to ruin a kid's life for the rest of time. That's just not okay. Like, we live in a digital world. This stuff is now etched in stone online. We're all going to have to say, you know what? No. We're not doing this. We're not canceling kids because they do something stupid in a group chat. And if I have to be the person who carries that message forward, I'm fine.
JD Vance is full of shit. JD Vance is a shapeshifter. Remember, JD Vance grew up, if you read his book and you listen to what he said, he grew up and wondering if he was gay. He's like, well, you know, he didn't know if he was gay or not. I guess he decided that he wasn't gay. And then he started doing, you know, all kinds of drag and whatever. And so now he's a shapeshifter, which is very interesting to me. He will say anything that will get him elected. And then he went on to write a book about hillbilly, about growing up, you know, in a rural part of the country. And then he said Donald Trump was the worst thing for America, compared him to Hitler, basically called him that, and then ended up becoming a MAGA person. We're going to get back to these racists in just moments. I want to get now to Jolly. Jolly, thank you so much. I know that you're on the go. Jolly, you were at the White House. You saw the demolition. You said every member of the press was, Washington press was there. What's going on? What did you see in this video that we got?
So, okay, there's a spot. Here's what I found interesting, Don. There's one spot of the White House where you can typically walk down it, like a sidewalk, and they have that entire thing blocked off, which is abnormal. It's never blocked off. And so as I had to ride around the whole perimeter to find one little narrow spot where you could see the demolition happening, it's almost as if they're trying to keep people from seeing it from the street. And when I say the entire DC press was there, it's because that's the only spot you can see the demolition happening at, is that one spot. I sent a second video. I don't know if you got it.
Yeah, I don't think we got it, Jolly.
Who can I send it to? Peter?
Yeah, either one. Peter or Andy.
I don't think I have Andy's number. Let me send it to Peter. All right. There, I just sent it. It'll give you a real good look. I mean, it's really actually, it's shocking to see, because you think this is the White House. You know, this is where there's history to this. I think the last time the White House was really destroyed in this manner, and someone can correct me if I'm wrong, was during the Civil War. there was a fire set to it and had to be rebuilt. And my whole point is, it's just like everything Donald Trump touches, he just destroys it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Except apparently himself. I know he touches himself a lot. And so I wish it would work on him. But to watch the White House be destroyed, walls broke down, rhubarb sticking out of it, wires dangling, and especially to know that it was for a fucking ballroom that nobody wants. Like, what is the point of a ballroom, right? Like, I don't know, man. It's seeing it firsthand just made me really feel like surreal in a way. Just like when I was in Chicago on the ground in this predominantly Hispanic neighborhood, watching them be terrorized by ICE, patrols outside the school, making sure people don't get scooped up from the pickup line. I think not enough Americans realize this isn't just a story on your news feed. This isn't just a story on Don Lemon's live. This isn't just a story that I'm posting about. It's like very, very real. Like what's happening in America is very, very real. And the White House actively being destroyed, wires sticking out, rhubarb poking out. It's what the fuck are we doing?
What did you, Jolly, tell us what you saw. You saw backhoes, you saw bulldozers, you saw what? Could you hear the clanking and the chattering? It looks, I mean, it literally, I have to be honest with you, it looks like a bomb hit it.
It looks exactly like a bomb hit. I mean, it looks like, you know, it was blown up. And that's my point. By the way, Don, put the backdrop on this. Put the backdrop on this. The government shut down.
Mm-hmm.
Americans' healthcare is at risk. All right. The Republicans refuse to negotiate with Democrats because they would rather keep the government shut down than to make sure that ACA subsidies don't go up. They would rather have the government shut down than make sure that healthcare is secured for Americans. They also haven't sworn in Adelita Grijalva, duly elected official from Arizona's 7th district, because she would be the 218th vote to release the Epstein files. And Mike Johnson just shut votes down again for another week. That's the backdrop to this happening at the White House right now. And I know what MAGA is going to say. Well, Donald Trump's paying for it for himself. Yeah, right. And I'm a fucking penguin. So if Donald Trump is paying for this, he's using money that he grifted from being the president, right? He uses the influence of the office of the presidency to get business for his organization. His family does it as well. He also has a crypto scam that's been going since January. He's made more money in the first 6 months as a president than any president in American history. It's 100% open corruption, and nobody's stopping him. What I'm trying to get Americans shake them by the shoulders and say is, dude, I need you to see that this is really happening. It's not just a story on your news feed. America is being fundamentally changed. I think that what's happening to the White House is a microcosm of what's happening to America. It's being destroyed and rebuilt at the whims of a single man.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's literally, well, I'll talk to you about this in a second. I just want to, since you mentioned it, let me play this, Jolly, because I want you to hear it. I'm not sure you've even heard this. And I want to make sure most of the audience hears it. This is Mike Johnson speaking about what Jolly just mentioned, not swearing in Adelita Grijalva, who is new representative from Arizona, Democratic representative, who would make the difference in getting, voting on those Epstein files being released. Here it is.
When are you going to swear in Representative-elect Adelita Grijalva?
As soon as we get back to legislative session, when Chuck Schumer allows us to turn the lights back on.
Why haven't you done it already?
Because this is the way the institution works. I'm following the Pelosi precedent, by the way, when my dear friend from Louisiana, Julia Letlow, was elected to fill the seat of her deceased husband because of COVID. Nancy Pelosi took 25 days to swear her in. By the way,
are you saying? Let me stop you. Are you saying that Nancy Pelosi refused to swear her in earlier?
No, I'm saying that's my very point. Is this is the normal
my
process.
understanding is that was the date that actually the representative-elect Letlow at the time requested. She had obviously her.
Okay, here's some more examples. Okay.
No, but wait a minute. You mentioned the Pelosi precedent, but Pelosi didn't delay that.
Let me give you more of the Pelosi precedent. Okay.
And what about the Johnson precedent? Because you swore in 2 Republicans the day after their election.
I'm happy to answer. Pelosi precedent. Pat Ryan, Joe Simplinsky. They were elected during an August recess. So 21 days later, when the House returned to regular legislative session, they were administered the oath. That's what we're doing. We're not in session right now. Rep. Grijalva was elected after the House was out of session. As soon as we return to legislative session, as soon as the Democrats decide to turn the lights back on so we can all get back here, I will administer the oath on the first day.
You could swear her in tomorrow, right? I mean,
no, not tomorrow. No, we couldn't. We wouldn't. There was an exception for 2 Floridians earlier in this Congress, but the reason was they were duly elected, they had a date set, they flew in all their friends and family, and the House went out of session.
So if she flies in friends and family, then
we don't have a date set. She was elected after.
Okay. Let me ask you about the president.
Jolly. That man just sat there and lied through his teeth.
Correct. He 100% lied. Listen, this is what they do. What I've said 1,000 times, this is the Nazi propaganda machine, but with a corporate sponsor and kind of an American spin on it. The way things work now is you lie. Like you just said, he lied through his teeth. You lie. And as long as your base doesn't question that lie, as long as the MAGA base, gobbles up that lie, then the truth doesn't matter. They're going to do what they want to do. This is what pisses me off about, Congress in general. I work with a lot of congressional Democrats, both on the Senate and the House side. I have a good relationship with a bunch of them. But I'm going to say what I've learned by working with Congress for the last couple of years is how utterly disappointed I am that it is more or less a system ruled by majority. So the Democrats' answer to everything is we can't do anything because we're the minority party. So is our system so absolutely fucked that if this one party gets a slight majority, they can just ransack shit the way that Mike Johnson's doing right here, the way that Trump is ransacking the White House, the way that they are absolutely circumventing constitutional processes. Everything that's happening right now, if it would have happened, and you know this, Don, if this would have happened 10 years ago, 15 years ago, there would have been outcry from sea to shining fucking sea. But the Overton window has been shoved so far to the right now that, people just are numb to it almost. I don't know why people aren't in the streets screaming. Why aren't Democrats raising 7 kinds of hell? Yes, they marched through the House. Yes, they've called him out on it. There needs to be more than words. There needs to be a process in place. The people of the 7th District of Arizona deserve representation. And you can't just lie about her being elected after House out of session. She can't be sworn in. That's a lie. That's not true. He can absolutely swear her in. He has the full authority to do so.
Jolly, in the midst of all this, our government is still shut down, right? And people still are concerned about their health care. Let's see, what is today, the 20th? In 10 days, just about 10 days, it's going to be open enrollment for healthcare. Medicare enrollment is already open. Enrollment is already happening right now. And a lot of stuff has changed that people don't know about. And they're going to wake up and find out.
Correct. When that open enrollment period starts and the new bills start coming out and that $200 subsidy you were paying becomes $1,000, becomes $1,200.
Yeah. But even right now,
in trouble.
With the Medicare, it is things are changing. You don't know. Some people are going to lose their doctors. They have no idea what's going to happen. Jolly, thank you, brother. I appreciate you hopping on. Okay, I really appreciate you coming through in the clutch. Jolly,
appreciate it, Don.
Washington correspondent. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
So speaking of, I have a message for you guys. Please sit back, and I want you to listen to this. I want to talk to you about something that really matters, especially if you are 64 years old or older. It's Medicare annual enrollment season, and this is a time to pay attention, everyone. I just went through it with my mom, and perhaps you have been there too, sitting at the kitchen table, buried in paperwork, trying to make sense of it all. Plans have changed. Some were even canceled. And get this, according to the Wall Street Journal, if you're not careful, you could end up paying more, even lose coverage for your doctor, for the doctor that you trust. So pay attention. That's why I am telling you about Chapter. Chapter is the Don Lemon Show Network's new health partner. They review every plan nationwide to find out what's best for you, not what makes them money. Their help is 100% free. It takes about 20 minutes. And on average, people save around $1,100 a year. So don't wait. Call Chapter at 212-931-0855 before December 7th and make sure you and your family are protected. Thank you, guys. All right. So take care of yourselves out there. Wajahat Ali is a political commentator, the host of the Democracy-ish podcast, and the author of the Left Hook Substack. And he's also always getting me in trouble. I get myself in trouble. I'm kidding. So whenever we're together, it's trouble. Wajahat, thank you for joining us. Did you see those pictures of the White House?
Oh yeah. Well, first of all, yeah. Anytime you and I speak, or anytime you and or Joy speak, we always trigger all the worst people on earth. The people who love Hitler and want to throw us in gas chambers, but they clutch their white pearls when you tell them that they can exercise their Second Amendment right to legally and peacefully own arms. But apparently, guns are only for white nationalists and violent insurrectionists. But I digress. Yeah, the White House photo. I mean, what a unsubtle metaphor for what Donald Trump is doing to the country, literally destroying the White House. Another unsubtle metaphor after he posted that AI video of him shitting on Americans. This is white supremacy in a nutshell. This is what white supremacy does, Don. It is ultimately not just destructive, but self-destructive. I mean, what a brilliant photo that captures the essence of Trump and MAGA and white supremacy. It's a picture that speaks 1,000 words or costs $40 billion that are sent to Argentina.
I think it is a picture that just shows that everything, that Donald Trump destroys everything.
Everything.
And does Donald Trump actually think, like, have you seen a Trump building?
They're gaudy.
Have you
They're
ever
disgusting.
seen a Trump project? Now, I have to tell you, I think that they're run well, from the limited amount of time, number of times that I've been in a Trump building. You know, I guess maybe the couple times that I interviewed him was the only time I've ever been inside of a Trump tower, I should say. I know people who live in Trump buildings in New York City. They're usually pretty well run. They're not the best put together buildings, and they're not the prettiest buildings, and they're very gaudy. So, Lord help us is all I'll say.
I mean, you know, this is a guy, look, I mean, let's just keep the receipts real quick. This is a man who was born to wealth, whiteness, and celebrity, and has failed up despite destroying everything. He's failed up by sitting on top of the growing disaster that he's helped create. His daddy gave him $400 million. He squandered it. He has multiple bankruptcies, bankrupted casinos. There's no art of the deal. It's all bullshit. This is the man that when he became president, straight up destroyed the economy, lied to us about COVID, right? This is a person who is a criminal, a person who literally stole classified information, lied about it, kept it in the shitter at Mar-a-Lago. And this is a person who's been held liable for sexually assaulting E. Jean Carroll. And this man defrauded people through a university, a charity, and defrauded New York City. And this is the man they see as their king and savior. So why are we surprised, Don? Let's keep it real. Why are we surprised that this useless, cankled piece of shit, this dumbass who's failed up based due to whiteness, wealth, and celebrity, would do this to our glorious White House? This is what was inevitable, because this is what he's done his entire life. But he has never, ever, ever been held accountable.
People are in the chat asking, someone just joining us saying, what is this? What are we looking at? It's a picture of the White House, everyone, if you're just joining us. This is the White House. Donald Trump is destroying the east wing of the White House right now. This is demolition that I believe started today, or maybe it's the first time that people noticed it. But the original promise, reportedly, was that it wasn't supposed to affect the original structure or the structure of the White House at all.
Lies. And also, folks, this is costing you, yes, you, $250 million. So as Don and the gentleman before him talked about how they're gutting Medicaid, how they're going to gut Medicaid to the tune of $1 trillion to pay for permanent tax cuts for billionaires, as they're completely gutting the CDC, NIH, as they don't have money to fund childhood cancer research, they somehow found $250 million to renovate the White House ballroom. And a question I have for you, Don, do you think this dude's going to leave? Because it's going to take a while to build this ballroom. This is not the action of a man who ever plans on leaving, Don.
Mm-hmm. This is his ballroom. He thinks this is his house, and he knows that all of his sycophants out there, the Steve Bannons of the world, and et cetera, they're going to work their darndest, their hardest to keep him in the White House.
Absolutely. They already admitted. Steve Bannon admitted again this week. He goes, we have a plan. You know, like he's like human smegma. He's like, if smegma was a human being, it would be friggin' Steve Bannon. he openly admitted yet again. Thank you. That was an original. He openly admitted the plot. He says there's a way, and Donald Trump admitted the plot. He said JD Vance is going to be president. I'll be the vice president. Then JD's going to win, and then he's going to make president again. Folks, I'm telling you, he's not leaving. They're planning for forever power. He's showing off 2028 merch to foreign visitors. They're openly telling you the plot. He said he's going to do the Insurrection Act. He's unleashing the National Guard. I've said it before. I'll say it again. I think he's going for martial law. He's openly gerrymandering. The Supreme Court's about to gut Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act, which means 2026 will be a wrap because they'll gerrymander the House. I think y'all should pay attention to this right here. This is what Donald Trump has done. This is what greed has done. This is what white supremacy has done. And this is what the GOP has done and will do. And I think there should be a new name for the GOP. Guardians of Pedophiles. That is the GOP, because Virginia Giuffre's book is dropping tomorrow, Don. She was that 16-year-old that Donald Trump called property, the one that was stolen by Epstein. And she said that Epstein raped her, Ghislaine Maxwell raped her, and they passed her around like a platter of fruit to powerful men. Accountability. And that's the reason you mentioned it with your guest, Adelita Grijalva. Been waiting for 3.5 weeks, Don. Why won't they swear her in? The government shut down, but this mother effer found $250 million to destroy the White House and remake it like white trash friggin' Trump Tower. That's what it's going to be.
Oh boy, I can't. The folks, I have my TikTok camera here, and I forgot that they can't hear the audio when I have my headphone in, so I had to take my headphone out. But listen, Wajad, people are going to say, you know what? You have Trump derangement syndrome. You know, Wajad just has Trump derangement syndrome. So back in the day during the first Trump administration, Wajad was saying, well, this guy wants to take over the government. He is crooked. He's going to try to steal elections or whatever. All of those things came to fruition. And now people are going to say, well, Wajad has, Trump derangement syndrome. When basically what you've done is is what? You have done your homework, and you look into the future around the corners to the things that he are probably going to do in the future based on things he's done in the past and what's happening now in the present.
Don, I take him literally and seriously. I look at the evidence of my eyes and my ears. I read Project 2025. I've researched Stephen Miller. I listen to his words. I listen to Russ Levant. I listen to Donald Trump. I listen to Steve Bannon. And I'm glad it's the world's worst. I told you so. I'll get no awards, and I don't want any. In 2019, the tweets are still up. I said publicly, Donald Trump is not going to leave peacefully. You all think he's going to leave peacefully? He's not. And I got attacked by all the establishment Democrats and the mainstream voices and MAGA. And they said, you have TDS and look at this leftist. And I'm like, he is not going to leave. Folks, January 6th, violent insurrection. He sat there. He incited. He's pardoned 1,600 of them. That happened in 2021. Now, all of those people who had some guardrails, like some of the moderate MAGA, they're all gone. All gone. Mark Esper is gone. Even Bill Barr, who's terrible, is gone. Chief of Staff Kelly's gone. Now he's got Kegseth, Pam Bondi, Kash Patel, Stephen Miller, completely out in the open right-wing corrupt Supreme Court. The right wing, which openly says, I love Hitler, refers to black people as watermelon people. And then JD Vance refuses to apologize for it. What do you think they're going to do? Why is he showing off the 2028 hat? Why is Steve Bannon openly telling you how they plan to keep him in power? Why did he openly say red states, I want gerrymandering, give me 150 mail-in ballots? It's fraud. He's not going to leave. And Don, I said he's going to unleash the National Guard against the people in October last year. The quote, he quoted Hitler, and he said, I'm going to unleash the National Guard and the military against the enemy from within. I kept warning people, take him literally and seriously. Don, what's happening in Chicago? You were there for 4 days. Mm-hmm. What's happening in Portland? What's happening in LA, folks? Mm-hmm. Trust the evidence of your eyes.
Mm-hmm. Wajad, I want to talk to you about one other thing. Can you give me 2 minutes?
Yeah, okay. Man, I'm here.
Okay. So a word from our sponsors, and I'm going to talk to Wajad about this new racist phone call or text thing that's happened now, and then the one that happened last week, the young-ish Republican up-and-comers with their racist text. But a word from our sponsors. Support comes from Henson Shaving, and I've got to tell you, this razor, this changed the way that I shave. Now, most of us grew up with those plastic multi-blade razors that leave your skin irritated. I hate those things. As a matter of fact, my dad used this when I was growing up. So it is similar to that, but Henson takes a completely different approach. They build their razors with the same aerospace level precision that they use to make parts of the Mars rover. So the blade barely extends beyond the razor head. That's what I love so much. So you don't get all that cutting and stuff. That means less flex, less irritation, and a much smoother shave, smoother, skin-friendly shave. So when I switched, I noticed fewer razor bumps and no more burn. And here's the best part. Once you own a Henson razor, replacement blades cost less than 10 cents each. No gimmicks, no subscriptions, no plastic waste. So visit hensonshaving.com/lemon and use the code lemon to get a free pack of 100 blades, enough for 2 years of shaving. That's Henson, HENSONSHAVING.com/lemon. Now, let me just tell you this. As a man of color, I have curly hair, right, that grows back in. It really helps to get rid of it, that razor bump to subside, and then it doesn't really scratch your face. Look, I'll get close. No makeup, no nothing. I shaved and used a little, antiseptic or whatever afterwards. Perfect. So check out the Henson shaving. Support for the Don Lemon Show comes from Lean, and I wish I had known about this sooner. If you've ever lost weight just to gain it right back, then you're not alone. Doctors call it weight cycling, and it is linked to serious risks like diabetes, liver damage, and heart disease. Lean was created by doctors to help break that cycle, and it's not a shot or a fad diet. It is a daily oral supplement that targets weight loss in 3 ways. It helps control appetite, it helps to maintain healthy blood sugar, and convert fat into energy. That means losing weight at a steady, healthy pace and actually keeping it off. So if you're ready to make a change, go to takelean.com and use the code LEMON for 20% off. That's TAKELEAN.com. The promo code is LEMON, and start building a healthier future today. Thank you to all of our sponsors. Amen. Thank you to our sponsors. And you know it, Wajad Ali. Thank you to our sponsors. That's how we say Bible out here in the streaming world, right? So anyway, let's talk about another racist text scandal. This one also uncovered by Politico. Trump nominee says that he has a Nazi streak. He bashes Martin Luther King Jr. Day, according to text. MLK Jr. was the 1960s George Floyd, and his holiday should be ended and tossed into the 7th circle of hell where it belongs. And then he goes on.
Did Don freeze?
Talk about other things.
Oh, there you
Some
go.
of the folks they said in the chat put back. Am I back? Am I still here?
You're back. You're back.
All right. So anyway, what do you think of this? Another scandal. Another racist text message scandal.
Racist birds flock together. The hoods are off. They are openly sharing their white nationalist agenda. I'll give you another one. Christian nationalist podcaster Joshua Hames, who, by the way, was an ex-pastor at Pete Kexeth's church, says Christians must be willing to defend the institution of slavery because
we
the
got
Bible...
it. You want to hear it? We got it for you. Andy, roll it if you have it.
The institution of slavery is not inherently evil. I know. Some of you guys are upset by that. Some of you guys are saying, I've been saying that for years. Okay, I'll take it a step further. It is not inherently evil to own another human being. I know. Just wait. Some of you guys are really upset, but let's talk through this because it is very important that every Christian affirm what I just said. And not only should they affirm it, every Christian in today's society should be able to defend what I just said. Okay? Every Christian should be able to defend it. Big evangelicalism has been getting this wrong for years. Basically, since the advent of Big Eva, they haven't had a good answer for the slavery issue. All right, Christians in America have been led astray on this topic. They've been led to believe things that the Bible doesn't teach. And when we go beyond the Bible, there are dire consequences.
Wow.
I thought that was Harrison Butker. I mean, they do look alike.
I mean, another their religion is white supremacy, and they've hijacked Jesus as their mascot with an AR-15. What more do you need to see? Let's just go back to 1 week. Let's just go 1 week. For all those who say, Don and Waj, you're race baiters. You say they're racist. It's economic anxiety. Why are you so hateful? Why are you so divisive? Americans hate being called racist. Americans would much rather, you could punch an American's dog, but if you call an American racist, they'll get really upset. Look at that Political article right in front of you. Listen to that pastor who was part of the ex-pastor from Pete Kexeth's white Christian nationalist church, which, by the way, doesn't believe in the 19th Amendment. So 51% of the population, women, you like voting? Pete Keck and these white Christian nationalists don't like it. Also, those 2,900 pages of Telegram messages that Politico uncovered, which just, normally these young boys, Don, in the age of 30s and late 20s, who said, there you go, I love Hitler, 1488, the white Christian nationalist manifesto, the white supremacist manifesto. By the way, 88, you know why they say 88? 8 is it represents H, the 8th letter of the alphabet. 88 is for Hail Hitler. 14 is the words of the white supremacist motto. What more do you need to see? You need to see one more thing? Best things in threes, right? Let me bring a third piece of evidence. The DHS, Department of Homeland Security, their Twitter page, they did a tweet last week. One word, remigrate. Everyone's like, all the normies watching, what is remigrate? Good question. It is a word used in white nationalist spaces. It is a euphemism for ethnic cleansing, moving all brown and black people away from America back to their original countries. That's what the DHS official Twitter page tweeted. Don, what more do we need to see? The
wait. Watch. I hate to cut you off. Watch. Tell me what. Wait. What is this about? Purging?
You didn't see that DHS tweet?
No. What is it?
Oh, just a couple of days ago, DHS. I'm sure your producer can get it. The DHS Twitter page, Department of Homeland Security, simply tweeted the word remigrate. There you go.
What the fuck?
Folks, go Google it. This is a word used only in white nationalist spaces, which is the euphemism for ethnic cleansing. I think it should be a big news, but you know why it wasn't big news? Because friggin' the biggest news was there was 2,900 pages of text between these young leaders literally praising Hitler and talking about throwing us in the gas chambers. And then, oh yeah, that same day, Don, another piece of evidence, top of the head, you saw the the Nazi swastika on the U.S. flag. Remember that in the congressman's office?
Yeah.
What more do y'all need to see?
Well, I said at the beginning of the show, and they love to say that they're not racist, even though and they will tell you that these actions that are overtly racist, that it's not racist. They will tell you this thing that the Department of Homeland Security tweeted out, that we're not seeing what we're seeing with our own eyes, and it doesn't mean what it means with our own brain that everybody knows, right? And or JD Vance will make an excuse for it, saying that they're kids. They're just kids, and I don't want to cancel some kids for some stupid things that they said. These are just, babies. They're like teenagers.
Yeah, and also this, Don, look at how it goes back full circle, how they infantilize, coddle, and normalize Trump. Remember that? He'll become president. He's a grown-ass man in his 70s. He's learning how they infantilize these grown-ass men in their 30s for openly praising Hitler, but how Mike Brown and Trayvon Martin are thugs, criminals, animals. Look at how they dehumanize the rest of us, but they coddle and whitewash the sins of these grown-ass white men and women who are racists and are wasting our taxpayer dollars and are making money while the rest of us are going poor. This is why, folks, I know people don't like hearing it. I have always said the original sin of America is white supremacy. It's right in front of you. And until we confront it and call it out, Don, we got to call it out. And I need white people watching. You need to call this out. Because me and Don, we were here last time, a black man and a brown man speaking about this. People are going to dismiss us. You're always whining, complaining, DEI, CRT, blah, blah, blah. Everything's racist to you. Yeah, all this shit. It's the white folks who need to call this out. What more do you need to see? Nazi streak. I love Hitler. Swastika on a U.S. flag. Remigrate. Tweeted from the DHS. They didn't apologize for that tweet. That tweet's still up there. A white nationalist tweet that calls for ethnic cleansing of black and brown people.
Do you want, you've seen all the studies about not young, but white men being so angry right now. Agree. And that motivated them, many of the younger ones and older ones, to vote for Donald Trump in the election. Do you think that they are just emulating their leaders' behavior? And because Donald Trump is aggrieved and angry as well. And here's the man, he's the leader of the free world, and he has more money than he will ever be able to spend, especially now that he's grifted so much since he re-entered the White House.
I'm going to say something scarier. I think they've gone beyond Trump. I don't think older conservatives or their parents realize how post-Groypers the young Republicans are, how much they're into black pill accelerationism, how much they're into 4chan, how much they're into shit posting, how much they're into this type of nihilism. I think this also kind of worried them. The people in their 50s and 60s, right? I don't think they realized that this is where they're getting radicalized online, and how everything has become a shit posting joke, and how they have fully embraced fascism, Nazis, and white Christian nationalism. They're even worse, folks. They're groomed to be in the image of Donald Trump, but on steroids. And now there's no euphemism, Don. When you and I were growing up, remember they used to be like, the welfare queen, right? They don't need to say that anymore. Now they just say the N-word. And according to those Telegram posts, different flavors of the N-word, 32 different varieties. And they say it openly, Don, openly.
I love how, Waj, that you think that we're the same age, but thank you very much. I appreciate the compliment.
Because black don't crack, and I've got 800 kids. I've aged horribly. Don Lemon has not.
What are you?
Don
You're
Lemon could be
35,
30.
aren't you?
You put Don in front of you, you're like, Don, are you 30 or 60? And, you know, both answer could be yes.
None ya. None of your damn business. That's it. That's all it is. It's all good. And look, my forehead works and everything. So no
Botox.
I would love to get some. I'm going to start getting some stuff though. I'm going to start getting some stuff.
No, man. Look, the one positive that we
though,
have, our sun isn't our kryptonite. That's God's way of saying, black and brown people, I'll give you hardship, but the sun will be your friend.
I love it when people say, you're too young to realize this. And I say, how old are you? And they say, oh, I'm 49. I'm like, oh, okay.
Listen, you know, white supremacy keeps the rest of us alive longer because we got to defeat it. You know, what can I say? And then this is why we have to invest in joy. That's why we have to double down on joy. And we can't let them get our spirits down.
I got to tell you this, though. I mean, hatred and white supremacy ages you. Have you seen? Woof, Lord.
Kristi Noem? That photo of Kristi Noem?
Oh, wow. You saw that photo?
You got to show them the photo.
Do you have the photo, guys? I don't know if you have that photo. Do you have it?
A close up of her face? Woo.
We'll find it.
Now we have to look. Someone sent it to me, or maybe I saw it over the weekend, and I was like, "Oh my god!" And I thought about the guy from Chicago who said Kristi Noem is ugly or whatever. I don't.
I mean, in all seriousness, hate does make you.
It age. I didn't think she was a bad-looking woman, but I mean, I just like she's gotten a lot of work.
Listen, I'll keep it real. Hate makes you hideous. A lot of these women who joined the MAGA movement, have you seen them now? And they just look cartoonishly evil and bad. And I feel bad for them because I saw photos before they got worked up on. I'm like, you're a nice looking person. And they can't hide the ugliness. The spirit reveals itself. It reminds me of, like, you know, all of them. Pam Bondi, the Kristi Noems, the other one who got a lot of work done for no reason, Levitt. It's just like, this is what they make you, to quote Born Identity, look at what they make you give. Look at what they make you give.
Yeah,
look at Steve Bannon. Ugh.
How old is Steve Bannon?
666. 66 years and 6 months. He's the worst. He's human smegma. If Tom Homan is human concrete, Steve Bannon's human smegma.
Okay, let's see if they found the right picture.
Yeah, I don't know if this is the one you're looking for.
Oh
no, there you go. That's it.
Can you zoom in? Let me see. No, just wow. What did she do? It does look plastic.
Look at what they make you give.
She was a pretty woman. This is the one where I thought it looks like her eyelashes were one of her eyelashes was falling off. Wow. She didn't need to do that. Like I said, she was not an unattractive woman, but is this? I don't know.
She was a pretty lady.
Yeah. Is this called Mar-a-Lago face?
This is called MAGA face.
No. Yeah. Anyways,
MAGA,
okay.
MAGA has a certain type of woman, folks. And if you notice, I'm not making this up. I think there's been some articles on this, what MAGA does and what you have to be in order to be a woman to look like what Donald Trump wants you to look like. And this is the result.
Waj, leave it to Waj to bring the receipts. Thanks, buddy.
Thank you all.
That made you turn red. You're turning rust.
This is what happens, man. This is what racism does to us.
I'll see you next time. Go take care of your 12 kids.
Later.
Thank you. Wajahat Ali. Thanks, everybody. Okay, so listen, if you want to know anything about the Don Lemon Show, you can go to donlemon.com. Click on that and everything you need to know, except for our new platform is not up there, and it's twitch.tv/Don Lemon. Or is it just Lemon? No, Don Lemon. And so check that out. Also, our merch store is there. You can become a member if you click on the top one, which is that's our merch store. And we got a new hat. We got the new hat. Just in case I didn't see this morning, the new black hat. That is my favorite now. And you can go on our YouTube page, and there you go. Become a member, subscribe. We're closing in on 1 million subscribers, so make sure you subscribe. Make sure that you're subscribed. Check your phone or whatever device you're on to make sure that you are a subscriber to the Don Lemon Show. Subscriptions are free, and also the subscribe button is right at the bottom of the screen on the right-hand side in red. You should see it there. Okay, so if you are in our merch store and you bought some stuff, you can send pictures of it, of you, your kids, your dog, or whatever it is, your computer, whatever you have, a sticker, a Don Lemon Show sticker attached to, we'll put it on. So do we have some merch photos, guys?
Yeah, we have a couple today.
We have?
Three here from Deb.
Oh, that's Debbie's pooch. Who's that?
I don't know.
Give the name of her pooch.
Don't know the name.
Looks like a handsome boy or girl there. Very nice.
But the dog was watching the No Kings feed outside. Look at that.
And wait, do you see the fan up there?
Yeah.
The Don Lemon Show fan up there at the top of the screen, right in the center. And they were watching outside. Very, very nice. The Don Lemon Show. Oh, thank you, guys. I appreciate your support.
This is
Who's
Shauna.
Shauna. Hi, Shauna. Shauna has the sticker. She's got the shirt, and she's gorgeous. And oh, wait a minute. She's even got my glasses. We're twins, Shauna. Thank you for your support. Who else do we have?
We have 2 from Anna.
Hi, Anna. Oh, my gosh. What a pretty lady. I love it. Old people be knowing. You're not old, Anna. You're young and spry. And I love the fan. Beautiful.
They were sent in by her daughter, Bridget.
Bridget, thank you for sending it in. And thank you both for being such supporters of the Don Lemon Show.
And then finally, we have Lori at a protest with her daughter.
Oh, that's great. And they're wearing the merch. I'm so glad that you guys wore your merch out. A lot of folks did. Protect democracy, freedom, and what does it say? DRA? I can't see it. No kings. And then, no kings, no ICE, no fascists, USA. Thank you so much for your support. Beautiful ladies. We appreciate it. And we appreciate all of our lemon heads who collect the merch and wear it proudly. Okay. So appreciate you guys watching. We're going to be back here tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Eastern time on the Don Lemon Show on the Don Lemon channel. Until then, I want you to be informed without being inundated. And I also want you to do this. Will you do this for me, please? Make sure I said everything. Turn the TV off. Thanks, everyone, for watching. Your support means the world to us. So make sure you hit the like button and you subscribe to our channel to make sure that you never, ever miss a video. We're live every day, 10 a.m. Eastern time. We drop even more content at 2 p.m. Eastern and 5 p.m. Eastern. And if you want more Don Lemon Show content, we'd love for you to become a member of the Lemon community, where you will receive access to special community posts. You'll get exclusive content and members-only live shows. So head over to our channel page or click the join button on this video. Again, thank you for watching. We appreciate your love and your support, and we will